Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to this week's episode of Monday Morning Motivation. My name's Jenny Kovacs, and I am affectionately known as the Queen of Being Seen, because you being seen, being heard, being noticed, and getting out there in the world is, quite frankly, what gets me out of bed in the morning, especially on a Monday morning, especially at 7 a.m. So, welcome. If this is the first time you've ever watched one of these Monday motivations, welcome and thank you for coming along. So these Monday motivations actually started way back in 2008, and they started off as a little motivational email when I worked in financial services in a senior management position, and I wanted to just get rid of the bad rap that the Monday mornings seemed to receive from people who didn't like it. Now, I tell you this because what's really significant about the Monday motivation is that this time last year, in fact it was probably a year and a week ago, I decided that I wanted to bring these to life, bring them up to times, and actually get to chat and converse with those of you who really wanted it and really needed it. So I started doing them as Facebook Lives. So yes, this is episode 53, which means I kept to my promise, I was motivated, and hopefully delivered some really great nuggets for you over the past year. And I've decided just to keep going because so many of you enjoy it. So many of you send me gorgeous messages just to say how motivated you have been, how motivated you weren't feeling until you heard this. So today's topic is all about the power of people. Now, I can see that some of you are watching, but I can't see who you are or where you are. So if you're watching this and you want to just say hi in the box, let me know that you're here and that you're on. It also actually lets me know that the comments are working this week, which sometimes it doesn't. That's okay too. What I'm going to do, just to triple check, is I'm going to look down. I'm looking down at this little device here because if the comments don't work, how on earth can we riff? How can we interact? So I'm just going to look down here. So just in case the comments aren't working there, then hopefully I'll see them here. Make sense? Okay, so today is all about the power of people. Now this, I hope, is going to be a really powerful piece in itself because I have just spent the weekend at the One Retreat run by the lovely Shah Wasman. And for those of you that know anything about Shah's work, the One Retreat is her way to give back to the people that attend. Now, it's a women's only retreat. However, at this retreat, it's something that she does. It's a not-for-profit retreat. So it's something that she does, and she gives of her time and she gives of her knowledge and expertise. And so do the coaches that attend and support. And I was one of those coaches. And it is always a good reminder to me when people get together, whether it's just women or men or both, of the power of people. The power of people, especially when, for those of us that follow personal development, especially when we're told we have everything we need within us to do stuff. And that is completely true. But what sometimes happens is that we feel, that we need a bit of motivation, that we could do with a bit of community. There's sometimes the path that we're travelling in life, especially if we've decided to do something for our lives, for ourselves and for others, sometimes it can feel a little bit lonely, So today I wanted to share 3 different kind of insights about the power of people. So if you're watching this and you know of somebody maybe on your timeline, somebody who could perhaps use a bit of a virtual hug, somebody who needs to know that they're not doing this alone, this thing called life, then just hit the share button. Please share it with people. I love it when you come on live because then I can get to answer any questions you've got. But of course, if they are like out and about, the people you're sharing this with or doing the school run, then that's fine too because there's always a replay. And the beauty of this is that you can come back anytime throughout the day, throughout the week, even throughout the month, and come back and watch this again if there's anything that you want to sort of pick up on or need. So I don't know that my comments are working today. Let me just have a look on here. No, they're not. So let's just have a look and see what the comments are. Hey, Ivona says, morning, Jenny. Morning, Ivona. Morning to those of you who are watching. Sorry, I can see you're watching, but at the moment I can't see your comments. So huge apologies if I kind of a few minutes late in reading those. So the power of people is something that is really close and dear to my heart, because I believe that every individual person has the power to do the things that they want, to be the person they want, to live the life they want, to be able to make their mark on the planet in the way they want, leave a really great impression or make their impact. But one of the things that gets in the way is that sometimes our mind kicks in. The little voice in our head starts to talk and tell us that we're wrong, that we can't do it, that someone else should do it, that it could be better if somebody else did it, and all sorts of other things like that. So here's why the power of people is so important. There are times in all of us, no matter who we are or what we do, when a little bit of doubt creeps in, when a little bit of self-doubt might creep in. And for those times, that's a really great time to look at the connections that you have, at the support that you have, at the people who are around you. So 3 different ways that you can tap in to the power of people. I'm going to share them right now. So this might be pen and paper time. So the first way to really utilise the power of people is simply by surrounding yourself with people who get the thing that you're trying to do. Now, this isn't necessarily only having a group of friends and you only ever go and speak to them, because as you'll know, your friends have got many different qualities. Like little diamonds, there are very many different facets on the face of the diamond. And one friend may be really effective at one thing or for one thing, and another friend may be really great, effective at another thing. And also, if those friends aren't travelling on the same path as you, they will find it really hard to support you in the way that you need. So the power of people, number one, is all about the power of community. So what is the thing you want to do? Is it something that's around like healthy eating, wellness? So which of your friends or which of your communities or network, and sometimes they're not people that you would deem friends, there may be connections or professional connections, which of those people would you do well in surrounding yourself with? I normally make a really bad friend for people that are on diets and healthy eating. I'm quite skinny, always have been quite underweight, but the other reason is that I eat for England. Seriously, I really do eat for England. So when I'm with somebody who's having a challenge in health and well-being and it's around food, I'm probably not the best person for them to come into contact with, because yes, if somebody wants my support and they're my friend, I support them in a certain way. If somebody wants my support and they're my client, they're supported in a different way. It's a completely different container, if you like. So I might not be the best person, but what somebody could do or a person could do in that particular environment is look for someone else who gets where they are, gets what they want to do, gets how best they can be supported, and go for it. Does that make sense? So in the community, in the Vibes Tribe community, there are lots of people in there who are looking at how they can be effective in the world, how they can be seen, how they can be heard, how they can be even more visible. So wouldn't it make sense that if you're on the same journey too, even if you're starting the journey, whether you've been on it for a while, whether you're smashing it out the park and you want to do it even more, wouldn't it make sense to be in that community too? Wouldn't it make sense to ask your questions and answer other people's questions and talk about challenges and share wins with people who get it? It's not always just about saying, woe is me, I don't like this, it's not going very well. But often there's elements of, do you know what, I did it. And with the best will in the world, telling your friends and family of your wins, sometimes they don't get that either. They don't understand it. And then you walk away feeling disappointed because you feel like you don't have support, you don't have community, when in fact that's not true. Anyone experienced that before? Anyone experienced reaching out to close friends and family, either for support or to celebrate a win, and then just, whistle, like, silence, and you think, oh, maybe I didn't do so well after all. So I'm smiling at Ivona's comment. Oops, and I've just accidentally, let's have a look. Let me just turn the volume down a bit. So, apologies for those of you whose comments I've missed. So, Ivona's saying good morning to Alan. Alan's saying, hello everyone. He can see me, but there's no sound after a power cut. Oh dear. That's a bit... I hope the power is back now. Ivona says it makes sense. Hey, Carol's on. Hi. Thank you for joining us so early. I know that you're normally up even earlier. Faye says, feeling deflated afterwards. Absolutely. And it's a really horrible feeling when you've done your blood, sweat and tears and you've looked to your community, looked to your support network, and that hasn't happened. So your action from that point of community within the power of people, point number one, is who around you can you purposefully get to know better, get the support, be surrounded with, so that you are able to get just more motivation, knowing that you're on the right path, and actually protecting your confidence too. And Ivona says, yes, some people don't get my wins. It's interesting, Ivona. I remember a friend of mine who was a previous client, and we worked together for quite a long time, and she became a friend, and she was really wanting to aim for a high financial figure in her business, and she got it, and she sent me a message to say that she'd reached this figure, pretty stunning figure, the sort of figure that most people will earn at least in a year, if not a little bit less than a year. And when she told me, we were kind of jumping up and down, really excited. And she said, I wanted to share it with somebody, but I didn't know who to share it with. There was no one to share it with. And I thought, how sad's that? That you really want to be able to share a win, and you're looking around thinking, oh my gosh, who can I tell? So, the powerful piece, or get my words out, get my teeth in even. So the powerful people point number one is community. Surround yourself with those who get it. So the next powerful people point is all around the motivation. And again, the reason why it's so important to be in and around the people who get you is because there are times when you'll think to yourself, I can't do this. And actually, there are times when you think to yourself, I can absolutely do this. The difference, in my humble opinion, is number one, whether you think you can or can't, and number two, whether the people around you motivate you to let you know that you absolutely can. And this is interesting because one of my best friends, she's been my best friend for over 20 years, and I remember talking to her about a business thing that I was doing. And, my best friend doesn't run her own business. She's not in that sphere. But she's like my number one cheerleader, my number one, I don't want to say fan, but supporter. And when I said, I'm not sure about this, I'm not sure whether it's going to work, and I'm not sure whether I'm the person to do it or not, she was like, Jen, you absolutely are. Just don't even go there, she was saying. Don't even go there. You absolutely are, and you'll smash it. And in a few weeks' time, you're going to be telling me the story of what happened and how it worked out. Isn't it great to surround yourself with people like that? I just saw the love hearts, so thank you for sending the love hearts. So Ivona saying, hi Carol, hi Faye. I love that you guys always get to say hi to each other and get so community orientated. So Faye's saying that her friend Chi pushes her. So Faye says, my friend Chi pushes me and challenges my boundaries constantly. Absolutely, it's such a necessary thing. And Ivona says the Vibers are great for support, which is funny that you should say that, Ivona, because I think the same thing too. So if you're watching this on the replay or you're watching this for the first time, go and search for the Visibility Vibes Tribe. I have to say, we're now at just under 550 people. I kept saying, oh, we're at 500, but we're actually just under 550 people by one more. Are you going to be number 550? Well, you might want to be, and here's a couple of reasons why. These are powerful people. So number one, they have to be, in my opinion, the most juiciest people on the planet. Where else in a Facebook group? Do you go in and you type something and say, I'm having this challenge, and people automatically rally around you? Even people who have never met you before, they rally around you and they support you, people that you don't know. So that's the first thing I love about the Vibers. Second thing that I love about the Vibers is the way that they support and encourage each other. Okay, which might sound like the same thing, but this is something different. So if you want support, go in there. They will be supportive of you whether they know you or not. But also the second part is the way that they encourage each other, they support each other. And the third thing that I love about it is there's a real community feel to it. The way that everybody's got to know each other and gets to know each other and is getting to know each other, because for those of you who have never taken part in something that I run probably every 8 weeks or so, today is going to be day 1 of the Facebook Live Challenge. It's back! It's not actually a challenge, to be fair, but what's going to happen in the group, for those of you who want to get more visible, more out there, especially on Facebook, whether you've done it before a gazillion times like me, whether you've done it quite a bit but you want to, reach out to more people and find it, do something different, or whether you've never ever done it before and deep down, honestly, you're a bit nervous about it. This week, so I've got a frog in my throat. That's what you get for wearing green. This week, for 5 days this week, starts the Visibility Vibe. So you will be able to get out there on the Visibility Video Vibes, if you like, on Facebook Live. You'll have a task every day, and all you need to do is show up on a Facebook Live for just 2 minutes. Don't need to do any more or any longer than that. And every day you'll be given something to speak about. Now, it's interesting to me because quite often people might start to preempt. They might start to preempt, oh, well, Jenny says just to let me know, let us know whereabouts in the country you are and your name. And then people will start talking about their, their job, what they do, who they help. There's absolutely no need for that. I purposely lay it out in a really great way that is actually beneficial long past the 5 days. So if you are saying to yourself, I really want to start doing Facebook Lives, or if you're saying to yourself, I've been doing Facebook Lives, I want to know who else is in the group, this is one of the most powerful ways I know for you to get the power from the people, for you to go around and see who else is in that community. And what I especially love is there's always a great handful of people that join in who have been in the group, maybe have been a bit quiet, but it gives them permission to jump in. So if you want to experience how powerful people can be and how quickly you can get to know people in less than 2 minutes a day, go over to the Visibility Vibes Tribe Facebook group, ask to join, you'll be let in, and then go in and start to just take part. Watch other people, get to know the people around you, and jump right in. You're in really safe hands. So Carol's saying that her best friend is both amazing and supportive, and that's lovely to hear. Ivona says that she has dips, and sometimes it's great having someone that can motivate her and pull her up. Absolutely. We all go through that, Ivona. That's the thing that nobody will say, whether you're the Tony Robbins of this world, or whether you are somebody who is yet to be known, yet to be discovered. Ivona is supportive too, big sis, says Carol. She absolutely is. Alan's back and the sound's okay, thank goodness. So Ivona's saying that she loves the Facebook Live games too, and thank you for the love hearts there. I absolutely adore those because I get to meet so many more of you and actually get to tap into how powerful people can be. So the third point, so the first point was all around powerful people, was all around community and surrounding yourself with people who get it, people who can lift you up, people who you can both speak to when you're feeling demotivated, but also people that will really celebrate your wins and your successes. Very, very important. The next point was all around motivation. So whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. Henry Ford said it many, many years ago. But the other thing to think about is when you absolutely know you can, but you look around for support and motivation there from other people around you who get you, then the power of people really kicks in there. It's a really important thing to put in your arsenal. And then finally, the unseen power of people. So what about the situations, the scenarios, the goals, the ambitions, the dreams, the wishes that haven't realised yet? How are you going to get support on your journey? How are you going to take people with you so that you're getting that support? And apologies if you are typing comments currently. I can't see the comments on here. I can see them on here, but this is just crashed. So I'm just going to go back in to make sure I don't miss anything, because I saw some love hearts float past. So the third thing is the unseen power of people. Now, one way that I know many people who are aspiring to be in business, many people who are in business, many people who are making the transition, maybe they're an employee and they're looking to get out there and start their own business soon, or run both simultaneously. I know a lot of people that do that. And they're right at the start. They don't have the experience. They're great at what they do, but they don't have the experience of the thing, of actually running the business. And they certainly don't have the experience of being visible, of being seen, of knowing how to stop the feast and famine that can sometimes happen, of being known for what they do, or their work being known for what it does, and the effects that it can have on people to do better, to do differently, to do good in the world. So one of the other powerful ways, and I alluded to this at the start of this video, I was coaching on the One Retreat run by the lovely Shah Wasman, and one of the things that people often forget to do, especially when some of us become, personal development junkies, we might go to things to learn, we might feel we've got to learn this, we've got to learn that, but what we forget is that by attending these events and meeting other people and speaking to other people, often people that are doing something very different to us, and sometimes people that do something very similar to us. In both those scenarios, we get the ultimate chance, the optimum chance to be able to tap into that power of people who we haven't previously known, people who are on the same path as us, people who then go on to become like massive supporters. I want to share a very quick story with you. In 2012, I went to an event. It was quite a small, intimate event, and there were 13 of us in the room. And what was interesting was, the day that I went there, I only knew one other person in that room. I didn't even know the person who was hosting the event. So I went along. It was a good few hours drive away from home. I had to leave early hours in the morning. And to boot, after that day, I was going on to a course, like a weekend course. I was studying. So I had to pack my suitcase and get all my bits together, jump in the car, go to this place where I knew I would only know one other person in the room. Didn't know how many other people were going to be there. And when I got there, I met the most amazing bunch of people, men and women, from all over the country, from different industries, with different interests, different insights, different skill sets, different knowledge points. And you know what, throughout the day I got to speak to many of them, have conversations with people who did all sorts of things that were even beyond my comprehension. And interestingly, I sat next to a lady and had a conversation about a couple of different things, and really, we got on. And it was interesting to me to reflect back that in 2015 I actually did some work for this woman. I didn't go in there with an agenda to try and find clients or anything else like that. But, I look back in that room, and actually, let me think about this now. Since then, a good 4 of those people in the room became clients at some stage further down the line. But what was of interest to me was a client that became like quite a big client of mine 3 years afterwards. We'd kept in contact. We exchanged gifts and things like that. I remember sending them a book. What I want to say is that sometimes you don't know what's on your path. You don't know what's around the corner. You don't know what's about to come. And especially for those of you who are either in business or thinking of starting a business, or for those of you that have been in it for a long time, the power of connection is one, and the power of people is one that is so strong. Don't overlook these opportunities. Look at them as places to learn and ways to learn, but also look at them as ways to be able to get yourself out there, ways to be able to have people that then talk about the work you do, ways to have new people in your sphere, in your community, who completely start to understand what you do because you've got people to explain. Faye says the last one is me. Absolutely. And I don't do it. It's not a strategy, it's not a plan, but it is something that is so powerful. So before we wrap up today, if you've got any questions, do type them in the box. If you know somebody else who is on the same path as you, do you know 3 other people that are on the same path as you? If you do, please do share this with them. Just share it on your timeline, and other people will be able to tap into the power of community. What's of interest to me about the power of other people and surrounding yourself with people is that so many people look at others and think they've got it all together. They're not lonely, or they don't feel alone in what they're doing. They have a big community, when the fact of the matter is, virtually everybody at some point feels like they need to extend their network or they need to reach out to somebody. And the truth is, quite often they don't, because they think that there's no one there. And that saddens me. So if this is you and you want to get out there and you want to really start to grow your own personal network, your own personal people of power, then there's a couple of ways you can do this. Go over to the Visibility Vibes Tribe for sure. Start to really engage. Give to others what you would like to receive back. So start to really engage with the people that you know you want to support from and help from. And the other thing, and I'm going to do a shameless plug, on the 8th of July, Visibility Made Easy comes to town. It's live, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not planning on doing a lot of live events this year. So this is possibly the only live event that I'll be doing until the end of the year. There might be one in November, but it won't be around this subject. So if you find visibility easy and want to make it even more effective to you, so the right sorts of people come along to you, then type in the box below visibility, and a bit later on today you'll receive some information, some details of that event. If you're already in the Vibe Tribe, go in there, tap on the events tab, and you'll see on the 8th of July you're able to join and get your ticket for a special Vibers price. Okay, so if you're not, another good reason to join the Visibility Vibes community. So if you decide that you want to be able to share, you're not sure what to share to best get people to utilise the skills that you have, the knowledge that you have, and what you do for the best, then really this is an opportunity for you to join in too. If you are thinking, you know what, Jenny does these Facebook Lives and they're all well and good, but in my type of business that wouldn't work, then I'm going to show you how to make it work for you. This isn't just a day of learning, it's a day of action, and you will come out with 3 very distinctive things at the end of the day. You would have posted something in a way that you've never posted before, and I almost would like to guarantee that people will see you and the work you do in a very different light moving forward. We're also going to talk about the power of Facebook Live, but mainly the power of video. Even for those of you who have made a decision in your head, you want to do video, but you don't want your face on the camera. We're going to talk about the power of that. And finally, for those of you that go out and talk at networks and speak, well, what do you say? And then what do you say in a way that has people saying, I need to speak to you? I realised that when I was reflecting in my journal last night, I've become so accustomed to speaking in a way where I don't necessarily try to sell my products and services. Anytime I have a conversation, it could be a Facebook Live, it could be speaking to somebody at networking, there's always at least one person that comes to me and says, how can I work with you? You know, that even happened in the last sort of 48 hours, and I didn't intend to. Now, there are ways in which I speak about services and products, which I think makes this happen. That has been consistent. I've looked back at every single time this has happened. What have I said? What have I done? And it's that I want to share with you. Yes, I could spend the whole day doing speaker training, but I want it to be the sorts of, I want to be able to help you speak in a way that people get the value that you add for them. So that's a really pivotal piece that we're going to be covering on the day. And remember, I'm not going to be just teaching you it, you're going to be doing it. I want you to experience what it actually feels like. So have you got a link to share your event with non-vibers? Ivona, it's coming. There is actually a draft event on this page. It is coming, so it will be on this page. I'm hoping that it will be out on this page in the next 24 hours. My bad, because I'm slow to finish the copy because of quite a huge project I'm doing at the moment. So come back on this page if somebody's a non-Viber. Alan says, 8th of July, I wouldn't be able to see who's on stage, unable to take notes. What would be the benefits? Well, Alan, the benefits of this is that it's not just about going into a room, sitting down, writing and taking notes. You'll be able to hear what's being said, and also, and this is where the power of people come in, you'll be with people around you who will be able to, you'll be able to connect with, who'll be able to offer help and assistance, but more importantly, oh, I've just flipped my camera, who will be able to show you how they work. You'll be able to hear of other people's experiences, and I like to call it almost like the collective brain, but you'll also be able to understand how people use certain visibility techniques. You'll also, and this is the most important thing, Alan, I would say, the benefit to you, if this is something that you're interested in, is you'll be able to hear from other people of how they do things. I have got a panel of experts that are going to be talking and sharing how they get out there and giving lots of tips and techniques about how you could get out there in a different way. So you're not just going to be hearing about me, but what I was going to say, the most important thing to remember is that this isn't going to be a go into a room and you receive training or being spoken at for the whole day. This is going to be, you hear of 3 very significant ways to boost your visibility, and the first part of the way you'll hear how to post and how to get out there on Facebook, and then you'll do that. If Facebook isn't your thing and maybe you want to know ideas of what to write in a blog post, then you'll hear that too. If it's maybe that you want to type on LinkedIn, or you want to share something with your email list, it will cover how you write about things. It'll also cover how you show up on camera. So there are certain ways that you might or might not want to show up on camera, Alan. We're going to cover that. And you'll also get the opportunity in the room to do it. And there'll be lots of people around to help you too. Because as you know from the Vibes Tribe, my community, a very helpful community. Hope that answers at least some of your question. Oh, and for those of you that are coming from out of town, I've picked Stratford because you can drive there, you can get the train there. Gosh, you could even fly to City Airport and get a taxi there. It's near Westfield Shopping Centre, and also, if you're quick, they have a Premier Inn hotel there. So it's a nice hotel, it's new, and you'll be able to book yourself a nice overnight stay should you so wish, so that you don't have to get up at the crack of dawn and drive down or get the train down or travel down that way. But here's the thing, I'm not here to persuade you to do something. The choice is totally yours. If this is something that you feel that you want to do, then I want you to take your own decision. I'm not into forceful or persuasive sales. And the other answer to the question from Ivona, Alan, is, Alan, the benefit for you would be knowing that you'll be meeting me, says Ivona. There you go. Meeting you would make it worthwhile. And yes, I agree with you, Ivona. Alan is such a charmer. Alan says, would it be a room full of women? Now, interestingly enough, this event are for male and females. The university where we're holding the event is promoting it. So it's not a women's only event, it's for men and women. What I find at these events, it tends to be very women heavy, just because it's normally the women that jump in with both feet and take advantage of that. So I normally say that there's a good kind of like, I don't know, 70-30% split. But at the moment, we have no men. So Alan, you might want to be surrounded by lots of very lovely women. Totally up to you. So today, most importantly, I've given you a heads up that the Facebook Live game is going to be back in the Visibility Vibes Tribe. So you might just want to take part in that. You might want to watch other people's videos. You might want to upload a video instead of a Facebook Live if you so wish, and start to get to know other people that are in the tribe. And who knows, by the end of this week, you might feel compelled to go and meet them on the 8th of July. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for just showing up and commenting. It's really important to me and really close to my heart and dear to my heart, because this has been a year and a week now that I've been doing this, and I certainly wouldn't have even had the motivation to keep going if it hadn't have been for you. So thank you to those of you who I can see have shared this video. Thank you to those of you who have been talking to each other and saying hi. And Carol, don't worry if you lost the connection and you're back now. You can always skip through on the replay. So thank you so much for joining. Lots of love to you, and bye for now.